Smith, though, big hero of the day with that 69-yard fumble return, and he spoke to our Jeff Darlington right after the game.
All right, Jalen, we need a police report because that's got a Bucks logo on it. Looks like that was stolen.
Man.
What's this all about, huh?
Man, just an incredible play, by my teammate Randy Gregory, and I was in position to pick it up and take it to the house. So it's a great team win.
So you got the touchdown, and that is symbolic of, I felt like what was the message was going in, physicality on defense. How do you guys feel like you accomplished that goal?
Absolutely. We wanted to get back to, playing Cowboys football. And this defense that we've built, we rely on our effort, how we run to the ball, our physicality, and we had to put that on display tonight or today.
You had the 5 wins, and then last week was obviously, I probably don't even want to talk about it anymore, but something that Zeke and Dak talked about, maybe created some valuable lessons. What did you think about the way that you guys responded?
Man, honestly, we just needed to be resilient, understanding what happened, evaluating it, elaborating on how we can improve, and we were able to do that today. So that was the main focus for sure.
So what is the goal now, between now and the start of the playoffs?
We have to continue to fine-tune, our skills and our everyday drills and our execution. Although we played a great game, there's so many things that we can improve on, so we're never satisfied.
Congrats on a touchdown and the division title.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
All right, so Dallas back on top of the NFC East, a division that has had a reputation of being one of the toughest in the NFL and hasn't seen a repeat winner since the Eagles back in 2004. Since then, though, the Cowboys have won this division 5 times, 3 of which have come in the last 5 seasons. All right, Jeff Darlington joins us now live from Dallas. So we saw you there in the locker room talking to Jalen Smith, but in terms of the overall reaction of that Cowboys locker room, how would you describe it?
Michael, these guys are pumped, and not necessarily from the short-term perspective, which included a win that wasn't very memorable against this Bucks team. Maybe not the momentum that they wanted coming off that 23-0 loss to the Colts, but ultimately, this is the team that started the season 3-5, and for the first time in franchise history, ends up winning the division after that sour start, and a team, by the way, that's also won 5 of the last 7 games, so they had plenty to be proud about.
It's the first goal that you have, the first tangible goal that you have with your team is you want to win the division first and get in the playoffs. So we accomplished that goal, and certainly proud to be a part of our group. From ownership to our coaching staff, our personnel people, and most especially our players, the commitment they've made going all the way back. In this season, starting all the way back in probably February, but for a lot of guys in our team, that journey started well before that.
And obviously, we wanted to come out here and get things done. Under our will, I guess you could say, not necessarily winning the division or clinching the division or a playoff spot by other teams losing. So we wanted to come in and make sure that we secured this thing. We got it done this week, and it was a great team win.
We can't get comfortable. We can't afford to take a week off next week just because we clinched our playoff spot. We got to keep working and just so we're ready for the playoffs.
We got to keep pushing each week. We can't let the good or the bad, keep us in the same spot. We got to, keep trying to reach levels that, people said it was never possible for us to reach at 3-5. So, we just gonna keep pushing and, see where it takes us.
Well, you heard Zeke sort of lobbying to be able to play in Week 17 to keep that momentum going. Jerry Jones did say after the game that is the initial thought. They want to keep rolling. It's not just about trying to get healthy. It's also about establishing momentum going into the playoffs. Michael?
Yeah, Jeff, and also a chance to get the number 3 seed in the NFC. Need some help to do it, but you would have a home game there in the first round of the playoffs. All right, Jeff, you look at Dak Prescott's numbers, 161 total yards passing. That doesn't blow you, out of the water looking at it. But sometimes it's not how many throws you have, it's the throws you make when you need to make them.
That's exactly right. Listen, very pedestrian day, right? From a team, they get the win, they get the pedestrian day. 2 throws Dak Prescott made, playoff-style throws. The ones you've got to make in playoff games. I'm going to show you the first one right here. Early in the game, 3rd and 12, you're already down 3. Again, 3rd and 12, you got to make the play. They're going to run a little switch route down here between Beasley and Gallup. Now, watch as the play develops. I'm going to let it play one time full, and watch the speed, and watch the ball where he sets this thing in between 2 defenders, gets his feet inbounds, the completion. Let me show you how it develops right here. He knows Grimes is going to be in drop. He's going to end up dropping and coming down here with Gallup as he goes. So he knows he's got to put arc on the ball. And as he does it, he literally sets it in, again, between two defenders. He's got two guys that he had to get around. Gallup makes a good play, but a great throw by Prescott. Now, right here, you're going to have, again, Gallup's going to be here. He's going to press in and have a little out route. But watch when the ball is thrown by Prescott, how much trust he has. That ball is in the air. It's already left his hand. He understands where the receiver is right here, not coming up his break. And look at the touch. The high point, I mean, it's only for one guy. I mean, it's literally a playoff-style throw. Dak Prescott, again, 160 yards, whatever all that looks like. At the end of the day, these are the types of throws that you have to be able to complete to win playoff games. When Elliott's only got 85 yards, you play some good defenses. He impressed me by what he did today, 20 of 25. Again, pedestrian numbers, too great.
I'm not going to pull. Now, somebody said, how about we get a Jimmy Johnson? How about them Cowboys? I'm not going to get out here like Skip Bayless, the guy who picked the Cowboys to lose to Tampa Bay, and now scream like a madman, how about my Cowboys and stuff, because you know what? I've been screaming about my Cowboys all season long. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And what better Christmas present could it be after starting out 3-5 that we are now literally in the playoffs? I just want to take a breath for a second here and just enjoy that for a second. Because I got to tell you, there's a lot of Cowboy fans out there that I just don't understand. I don't know how far this team will go. I honestly do not know. But this much I do know. We're in the playoffs. We've got an opportunity. We are one of 6 teams in the NFC, okay, out of 16, that have an opportunity to earn the right to go to the Super Bowl. We got a home playoff game. And when you look at this, I know we look like crap, and that's what they tell you last week against the Colts. But you know what? This season has been a roller coaster ride. Take a look at, say, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh lost 3 games straight. They beat New England and stuff, and then they threw up all over themselves yesterday. Take a look at a Carolina Panthers team that started out 6-2 and then down the toilet. Take a look at the Rams, who have all of a sudden come back down to earth. Even the Saints. We have been 6-1 over the last 7 games. Is that not hot? I know it's not pretty, but neither were the Baltimore Ravens winning their 2 Super Bowls, now were they? The New York stinking Giants with Eli Manning winning 2 weren't exactly the prettiest teams out there either, now were they? Now I want to give props to everybody that's here tonight on this show when you should be with your family, because this is Christmas Eve. But like I said, I'm just excited. I'm almost speechless where we are right now. And maybe I'm even in a little bit of a state of shock. But before we go any further, I want to make sure that I read Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford in the hospital last night, scary hit. You see a guy laying down on the field like that, you're thinking the guy's paralyzed. You're not seeing him moving. You know, you have all kinds of stuff, especially if you are a player that's down on the field. But fortunately, he got out of the hospital last night. He's walking around. The tests have come back negative. And this is his comments to all of us Cowboy fans. Want to say thank you to everyone who reached out to me and my family after the scary moment Sunday. I want to thank the Dallas Cowboys training staff for all the precautions they took to take care of me. Shout out to the staff, my teammates, for coming out of that with a win. NFC East champs and big things ahead. Man, this isn't a Jason Garrett clap here, guys. This is a real deal clap, because I felt it. I mean, you look at that was scary as hell. And thank God it's nothing serious. You know, it's not real bad. So, whew. I'm a little off my game here tonight, guys. I literally just got back home, and I am still living on the high of that game. Although, there are a few things that bother me. Football is a roller coaster. football is highs and lows. You can be feeling great one week and feeling like world beaters, and you can feel like absolute garbage. I always say 16 weeks marathon just to prove that you belong in the playoffs. That's all you can ask for is an opportunity. And every single step of the way, from the time we finished last year, it was doom and gloom from everybody. When we had the situation with Des Bryant, letting him go, doom and gloom from everybody. When we lost a few games, doom and gloom. We're bad, we're awful. And I just wonder, I've said this a couple times before, I just wonder, is it just about the Dallas Cowboys that you're so pessimistic about? Or is it everything in your life? Because if this is your attitude in life, you got a pretty pathetic life. You can't be happy with this attitude. I mean, there are some people that literally every single day, every single video, every other comment is, we suck. We're going to be one and done. And I don't know if maybe they're not Cowboy fans. Maybe they're actually fans of other teams that are just trying to bring us down. Maybe they're just, wolf in sheep's clothing or so. I don't know what it is, but I've never heard so much negativity. 3 years in a row of winning football. 2 of the last 3 years in the playoffs. Now, I know we haven't had success in the playoffs. We have not been past the divisional round in the playoffs since '95. I get that. I understand that. But would you rather be the Jets right now? The Redskins that have imploded? And no, I don't want Swearinger. Don't want Swearinger. Don't need him. Dude is a mouth and a cancer. Don't need him. This team's a family, so don't even mask that. But Eric Freeman, I saw a comment when I first started doing the intro. I'm sorry about you not having your mom. I know I'm truly blessed to have my mother, who's there baking pies like crazy and things like that. I am truly blessed for every day that I have her. And shout out to you and your mother and stuff during this Christmas time. I know it's hard when you don't have the loved ones there and Christmas and things. But can we see what we're going to see in the playoffs? Because I'm going to tell you what I feel differently about with this Dallas Cowboy team. There's a couple of things that we have to be positive about for the second half of the season. One is the Dallas Cowboys this year, they may not look beautiful. We may not make a ton of yards. We may have some ugly warts. But more times than not, in the fourth quarter, this team comes to life and comes through. And we came close in a couple other games, like the Redskin game. Had it not been for the flag, we would have kicked a field goal to tie the game and maybe won that in overtime. We were there in the fourth quarter. We hadn't given up. Against the Texans, maybe had we gone for it on fourth down and overtime, we might have gotten that one as well. This team shows up in the end when it counts. Think about how many times we've had fantastic games yet to surrender in the fourth quarter. Offense doesn't get it done. We have a turnover late in the game and stuff. A Tony, oh no. And I'm not, and don't, homosexuals, leave me the hell alone. Don't mess with me tonight. Not on Christmas Eve. I'm not trying to down Tony Romo. I'm just saying we always would have some freak thing that would happen and we would lose a game. And you know what I mean. We'd have Aaron Rodgers come through and make an incredible play at the last second. We'd have a damn catch, no catch that would, kill the drive and things like that. We always had something that would screw up the game. But instead of finding ways to lose, this team seems to be finding more ways to win. And it's not pretty all the time. I know that. But in the end, you get a W. Now, aloha, dude, I know you're worried about Seattle. And you know what? They're playing Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't have a defense like we do. And they were playing in Seattle. And if you've never been to Seattle, I'm going to tell you, brother, that ain't like playing any place else. Any place. I had a friend of mine who said, when you go there, man, take some earplugs. I said, what are you talking about? He said, dude, I'm telling you, take some earplugs with you because that place is loud. I said, come on, man, it ain't that loud. I said, dude, it's that loud. And it literally is. I yelled, top of my lungs, at my wife sitting right next to me, and she couldn't hear me at all. That's how loud that place is. That place is a home field advantage. We're not playing there. We're playing at home. And I'm hoping that with us having a playoff game, having the Hot Boys, having this team there ready to rock and roll, that we have a home field advantage for ourselves. But I'm tired of Cowboy fans. You guys sound like Stephen A. Smith about our own team. You guys are like, you're going to be one and done with an accident waiting to happen. And what the hell is wrong with y'all? Seriously. Let's at least get through and enjoy this. Can we just do that much? Now, let me give a shout out to everybody. Caesar, Justin, Brian from SoCal. How you doing? Brian is crazy, man. Brian, we know you want your Heineken from Rebecca. I see Victor there. I see Stephanie. I see DJ. I see Tamara. I see Adam. I see Nick. I see Aloha Dude. I see JR214. I see Lazzy. I see Twan Eagles. Man, we got Eagles in there. Oh, okay. Cowboys know they're going to lose. Okay. 97 Evo. Everybody, thank you guys for taking time out on this Christmas Eve to join into our live stream here tonight. But here's the things that you actually have to feel good about. And I know we got the Dak haters. We got guys that just say Dak sucks. And I got you. I understand. You got your opinion. I'm cool with that. The thing that you have to actually feel good about is we're no longer a one-trick pony. We are no longer just a Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott, you need my autograph? Okay. All right. If you really want it, okay, it might be worth 2 cents. And that's just because of the ink that it's written on. It's no longer just Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott only had 85 yards. And then, of course, we got Amari Cooper, which made a hell of a difference. But now we got another weapon to go in there. We saw Cole Beasley kind of picking it up a bit yesterday. But you're seeing now Michael Gallup is becoming a deep threat. Michael Gallup as well as Amari Cooper. And if Michael Gallup and Dak can continue to develop, this is where things can get really good and interesting for the Cowboys. Because you've got Michael Gallup for your deep threat. You can then turn around and put Amari Cooper in the slot because he is fantastic in traffic up in there. I'm going to go ahead and pop that one on there. Yeah, the E-Girls are definitely mad right now. Derek, do you really care what Stephen A. Smith has to say? We shouldn't be called America's team. You know what? I tell you what. It's the most valuable franchise. We got more people that are following it in America as well in the world than anybody place else. And we were given that name way back when. It wasn't like it's a Super Bowl trophy that you win it. It's a nickname. That's like saying the Steel Curtain is now the Chicago Bears because they got a great defense. Nobody's taking that away from them, are they? Right? So how can you take a nickname from us that somebody deemed us as and say we shouldn't be? But Stephen A. Smith, you know, he's doing exactly what he wants to do. He's getting you to talk about him and you to react. I was actually going to put a clip of Skip Bayless, you know, screaming up there with Shannon Sharpe, and Shannon Sharpe basically saying the Cowboys stink, they ain't going nowhere. Because every time the Cowboys do something, instead of saying, congratulations, you did a good job, you know, way to go, it's gone to something else that's negative. It used to be Dak Prescott, he basically regressed. Dak Prescott, he's going to be, a bust. And I know I know you guys are going to say, well, he still is a bust in your mind. Can't throw for 200 yards. Can't throw for more than one touchdown in a game. Okay, he hits 200 yards. He starts getting games with multiple TDs. Can't throw for 300 yards. Can't put a team on his back. Okay, all right, well, he makes plays in the end of the game and stuff. The Cowboys. Cowboys, accident waiting to happen. Wally A with the super chat. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. And so they continue to move the bar and tell you can't do this or you won't do that or you're so sorry. And I believe that maybe that's the reason why so many people are so negative on the team, because all you ever hear is negative crap. Oh, believe me, you know what? Stephen A. Smith loves the Dallas Cowboys. You know why? All the money the Dallas Cowboy hate that he has shown has made him. They're going to Dallas for playoffs. They're going to Dallas for the third time this season. Why? Because they're getting paid for that. It ain't nothing about really hating the team. He loves it. That's his prop. That's his stick. That is his tagline. I ain't mad at him. He figured out the formula. And you know what? Everybody else said, well, damn. Stephen A's getting all kinds of notoriety there. He's getting paid. People are clicking and all that. That's why all these shows go on. Your Jason Whitlock's. Why he goes on there every week talking. Just pulling stuff out his rear end. Oh. Eric Freeman, thank you for reminding me about opening the business and the super chat. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Sorry it cost you the super chat to remind me on that one, but I'm just so happy right now. But that's the game that everybody plays. You have to have somebody who automatically hates the Cowboys. I wish the teams, well, you do have actually like Darren Woodson who'll talk good about the Cowboys from time to time, and you'll have a few people that'll say a few good things. But for the most part, I'm assuming maybe that's why it is, and that's one of the reasons why I try to, at least in my mind, JR214, you are 100%. Jason Woodlight said he's an idiot. I try and at least put out the numbers and statistics. You can make up your own mind. I like Dak. I think Dak, for being able to stay healthy, for being able to run when they allow him to, that he has potential, that I think that when you say, we don't have a quarterback, okay, fine. Let's get rid of him. What do you got? What do you got? Who are you going to get? And when I hear, this is the acidine thing I hear, is, well, let's get Joe Flacco. You talk about not wanting to pay Dak $20 million a year. He makes about $22 a year. And how many years do you think Joe Flacco has left? Tamara, I actually want to go back through. I was at my in-laws. In fact, I just got home about a half hour before I started doing this live stream. I'm going to go back through the game clipped on that, and I want to see exactly and understand exactly what the hell that was supposed to be, because delay of game on the defense is usually like you kick the ball so that way the referees can't reset it. You hold up a guy on the ground so he can't get up to go back to the huddle and get set up. Or you're on the other side of the field, line of scrimmage, taking your time getting back across. Or in the last 2 minutes of the game, you're laying out on the field and we know that you're faking it. Those are delays of games on defense. That was a defensive shift sideways. He didn't cross the line. He didn't touch the ball. I've never seen, I want to understand that. The good, we definitely need to get to that too, because that is truly, you hit the nail on the head on the Scott Linehan part. And that's all I ask. The thing I ask, okay, real talk with all you guys that are in here right now that hate Dak Prescott, okay? All I say is this. Do you believe that the offense that we run is a great offense? Do you think a lot of quarterbacks will automatically be successful running this style of offense? When you look at the numbers, and I unfortunately, hold on 1 second. 1 second here. Let me grab something. I think it's right there. Okay. Some of the things that you look at. People will talk about, and let me pull it up real quick. People will talk about how many yards that other quarterbacks will have. You know? Let me pull it up. Okay. People will talk about, well, you know what? Big Ben has, a lot more yards than what Dak Prescott has. Or, you look at Andrew Luck and how many yards he has versus Dak Prescott. Dak's got only 3,400 yards passing. Right? 3,400. You got guys that are throwing 4,000 yards, man. Well, what, we need a guy that's doing that. But understand now, Big Ben has got 4,800 yards to Dak Prescott. Dak is down here at 15 with 34. So Big Ben has 1,400 yards more than Dak. So automatically we know Big Ben is killing Dak Prescott. It's not even the same. They're not in the same field. Or let's say Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's got 4,300 yards to Dak Prescott's 34. 1,000 yards more than Dak Prescott. So that means Dak sucks, right? Dak is nowhere near in the same level as Andrew Luck, right? But think about this for a second, because what they don't tell you when they give it, they don't give you all the stuff, because you'll look through, and that's what everybody will look fantasy number-wise. Man, Roethlisberger's got 4,800 yards. But look at this number here. Roethlisberger, 7.7 yards per completion. That's great. Andrew Luck, 7.1. But look at how many passes they throw. Big Ben has had 630 passes. Andrew Luck has had 604. With this offense that we run, Dak Prescott has got 482. 150 less pass attempts than a Ben Roethlisberger. But take a look at the yards per completion. 7.3. That's higher than what you got on Andrew Luck. So understand, first of all, this offense is not passing the ball a whole lot because it's a ball control offense that uses Zeke Elliott. That's not Dak Prescott's fault. But if Dak throws instead of 480 passes, throws 630, you're going to see him over 4,000 yards. And when you look at this offense, take a look at Dak ran. Jag of Jester Channel, thank you for the super chat. So Taco and Irving, you know what? Taco, I'm okay with, because at least Taco was there at practice. Taco was dressed yesterday and things like that. You're getting him hungry. David Irving, no. How can you have a guy who missed training camp, missed OTAs, has shown up for a couple of games, but can't get to practice to even, or even therapy? How can you have him say, okay, well, we're going to play you in playoffs? How are you going to reward that guy? How are you going to reward that guy when you've had guys that have been out there fighting, scrapping, and getting you to this point? Now you're going to have them sit so he can just walk in and play? No. I wouldn't do it. Not especially with the way, God, Randy Gregory's been playing. Randy Gregory will frustrate the hell out of you, but then you see those flashes where, oh yeah, now I understand. I'm loving the room, Mark. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm told my wife, I love my wife. Oh, God, I love my wife. My wife tells me I have too much stuff, that it's too cluttered here. And so I have to kind of rotate some stuff and things in here. The Christmas tree will go after Christmas, of course, but I just like all my stuff. I got lots of stuff, and I like to put it out there, I mean, look, we got Zeke. Now, Emmett, his head, he's got a little old. His head just kind of rolls around. There's no more bobbling down for Emmett, but he don't need to. But when you look at this, and you start looking at the completion percentages, you look at the yards and stuff, it's not as bad as you think. Now think about this. If he averaged out 7.1 on the year, after the way he played, say, the first 4 games where we only had 160 yards, when we had all new guys that were on the field and stuff, all of a sudden you start looking at the last 10, he's actually looking a little bit better than what he's given credit for. And I dare say that, you can go through and look at Tampa Bay's offense, where they've got tons and tons more yardage, but they turn the ball over all the time and they lose. And the other argument I have to say is, take a look at these guys up here on the list. Big Ben, number 1 in yardage right now, right? It's a pretty good chance they're going to miss the playoffs. Number 2, Andrew Luck. They should make the playoffs, but they still have to fight to get there. Andrew Luck, 3rd place. They ain't making the playoffs. Kirk Cousins, they might make the playoffs. They should be. Pat Mahomes, of course, Kansas City's going to be there. Tampa Bay is going to be there. Jared Goff. But then as you keep going down, Eli Manning's got almost 4,000 yards. How pathetic are they? You got Matthew Stafford, 3,500 yards. They're not going to be anywhere close to the playoffs. Mr. Matt Banks, thank you very much for the super chat. Should we sign DJ Swearinger? Hell no. And I mean hell no. Don't get me wrong. I like guys with passion. I like guys with fire. I like guys that go ahead and maybe have a little bit of an edge to them. But being here in D.C. and week after week after week, Swearinger has been a cancer to that team. Swearinger is forever throwing everybody under the bus. He'll go out there and talk about the coaches and everything else and, how the play calling is this play call. You know what? Sometimes you got to execute. You may call it passion, but I mean, you try and keep some of that stuff in-house, but it's constantly week out. Every time they lose, everybody looks for Swearinger because Swearinger's going to give you some crap. We're going to have some bulletin board material. We know we're going to have somebody thrown underneath the bus. And that's what's going on with Washington right now. When this is, God, we're going to keep Jason Garrett. We all know Jason Garrett's off the hot seat. I mean, unless somehow we show up and we get beat like we did against Minnesota the first game of the playoffs, and I don't even think that's enough. Jason Garrett's going to be back. But the one thing I can say that didn't happen, and maybe it wasn't Jason Garrett, when this team was 3-5, when you heard rumors about who might be the next coach and offensive coordinator, when you had all the talking heads, basically saying the accident waiting to happen, America's disgraceful team, Dak trash cot, this team can't get out of their own way, they need to, even Troy Aikman saying, how about my mark? Okay. Did I miss you, Jack? I thought I got you, my man. Let me make sure. Jag of Jester, thank you for the super chat. I think I got you. Maybe I didn't. I'm getting old and forgetful. When all of that was going on, Troy Aikman saying, Dak Prescott, either he's got it or, you either have it or you don't, and I just don't see him having it. Even though Dak Prescott's had 3 seasons with 20 or more touchdown passes where Troy Aikman only had 1. And don't take it that I'm trying to throw shade on him because I know that's what you guys will do. When everything was, this team sucks, needs to be ripped up, start all over, like they're doing right now with the Redskins, This team came together. This team stayed together. This team did not give up the fight. In fact, they went to Philly and kicked their ass. They got together and stayed together as a team. So when you bring somebody in like Swearinger, basically you're telling the guys that are there, we don't believe in you guys. This guy over here who's a cancer, who's a malcontent, a guy who is always in the news for the wrong thing, we think he's better than you guys, so we're going to bring him in here. To me, it sends the wrong message. To me, it's that guy that it divides the locker room, because this locker room has not divided. You guys may have had a lot of ideas on guys that should be or shouldn't be, but not by anybody in this locker room. That locker room is a tight-knit group. That group is a family. That is a group that, to me, I think believes in the team more than it just being about money. I may be wrong. I'm not in that locker room, but Jerry Jones, if you don't mind, have your people call my people. I forgot. Have your people call me so that way I can hang out in the locker room and get the real deal. But I believe that this group of guys is truly a group of guys that's family. And I think that they care about the team as much as they do their careers. And that's not players everywhere. You get a lot of players now that are just hired guns. I'm a free agent. I am an independent contractor. I'm looking for the best pay I can. I don't care where I go. But here's the thing that I think will happen with, say, a Dak Prescott. Because whether we pay Dak Prescott and you guys would say, well, offer him $13 million a year, I can guarantee you somebody's going to pay him $20, $25 million a year easily. They paid Kirk Cousins all that money, $84 million guaranteed to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins? Are you kidding me? Believe me, Denver would love to have him. The Redskins would love to have him. But I believe that Dak Prescott won't be looking to kill the bag, take every nickel. I think these guys are hungry. When you heard that clip that I played in the beginning from the locker room, we want to play next week. We want to make sure that we are ready. We are focused. We won, but we need to do better. They are looking at themselves. They're not patting themselves on the back. We the boys. We them boys. No, they ain't doing that. Those guys, to me, after winning the division, coming back from the dead, they look like this is business. We have to be ready. Hey, it's great we won, but we're not finished yet. William Moore, I can only hope that he's done. And that's the thing I was trying to impress upon people. And people will always say, you're always just defending Dak. Well, you want me to just come out like everybody else and just trash them in? Because a lot of the stuff that's said is not exactly where it really is. Because, here's the thing. Let me pull up another one here. I know 165 yards isn't great, okay? 165 yards yesterday isn't great, but he ran for a touchdown, he threw a touchdown pass, right? But take a look right here. Drew Brees, in the last 3 games, look, 2 of them, 201, 203. A 90 and a 69 QBR from Drew Brees. And that's not saying that Drew Brees isn't great, because Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But nobody is saying, well, you know what? Drew Brees, he had a bad game. A 69 QBR. Did anybody hear that he got a 69? And I know whenever I say this, oh, well, you just compare Dak to trash quarterbacks and things and stuff to try and make. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make you open your eyes and open your mind that the kid is only 3 years in. Tony Romo at this time in his career was still watching and learning from Sean Payton, the man that made him great. Let's take a look at one more real quick here. If I can pull it back. There we go. Jared Goff. Now, he did pretty good yesterday. 118 QBR, but he only had 216 yards and only 1 TD. Against the Eagles, he had 339 yards, but he had an interception and a couple of fumbles, a 75 QBR. Right here, against the Bears, actually, I need to pull this whole thing down, too. Hold on. Because it's been a 19 QBR. A 19 QBR? Let me pull this up here. Okay, aloha, dude. He is what he is. Dak Prescott's been better than this over the last 4 games. But they're not talking about how bad Jared Goff's played. Why can't I compare Dak's play with him? He is what he is. What is this? A 68, a 19, and a 75 QBR? Look at that. 2 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, and 5 fumbles. And I can't compare Dak to that? Come on, man. Aloha, dude. You're my boy and all that, but don't tell me to read between the lines now. Come on, man. I'm just pointing this out. Does anybody talk about that going into the playoffs? No. It's the micromanaged Dak Prescott. The thing that I know one thing is, when it comes to fourth quarter, we're still in games. We're not throwing games away. We might get beat, but we're not having a turnover that's in the end. You know, Tony Romo had the great game against Denver, 48 points and stuff, but we turn over the ball at the end of the game and we lose it. We have great play, but then we have one play or two that kill the game. We're not doing that now. And if you don't like that, I say that, or if you don't like, oh, no. Not just a no on DJ Swearinger, but a hell no. No, you don't want that guy. I'm telling you, he is a cancer, and he is not as good as everybody makes him out to be. Dak is average at best. Okay, then what's Jared Goff? What is that over the last 4 weeks? But whatever. All I know is this. Aaron Rodgers ain't in the playoffs this year, is he? Big Ben may be sitting home this year, won't he? Matty Ice, he won't be there. And these are all guys that say, well, that quarterback puts the team on his back and gets some wins. And if that's the case, how come they're not in the playoffs? Anybody got an answer for me on that one? Anybody? Did I miss it? Seriously. We keep hearing that quarterbacks elevate the play of the team and put the team on their back and get the wins. Then how come Matty Ice, Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers are all going to be sitting at home? 2 garbage teams. Okay, here we go. You guys always have an excuse. And that's what drives me crazy with some of you guys. That no matter what, it's going to be Dak sucks. He's limited. We can't win with him. We're going to be one and done. You guys are like, kind of trying to remember the cartoon character. Was it Sleprock? I think, who was the, woe is me, it's going to be terrible, everything is wrong, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but here's the only thing I'm going to say to you. Okay, and this was my original point before I got off on a tangent. You know, old and, you know, when I get dementia and I start going out. All I say is this. If Dak Prescott is throwing 150 passes less than, say, Ben Roethlisberger, but he's only throwing 0.2 yards less per completion, why don't we look at having a different offensive coordinator and a different offense and see what happens? That maybe, just maybe, it's the offense. Because there's a lot of things that we do well that we don't seem to do. Dak Prescott running the football. Against the Colts, we didn't do that once. Play action pass. We do it very limited. Very limited. When a lot of teams are doing it 30% of the time, we do it about 20%. And Dak Prescott's QBR, when we do play action, is like 122. Run pass options. Bootlegs, get the man outside in space, okay? Force the defense to either come up on him or go back and cover receivers. And generally speaking, either he's going to be able to take off and make a whole lot of yardage, or you're going to have a man wide open with an easy pass in there. These are all things that we don't do as an offense that if we did, or if we passed a little bit more, you would see more than 3,400 yards of passing this season. I mean, seriously. Are you expecting to have 5,000 yards with only 480 passes? And if you got rid of him, where are you getting a quarterback? Your problem is paying him. You think you can get somebody at dime store that's going to be a better quarterback? Do you really? Would you rather have Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins, who's lost more games in the fourth quarter than he's won? So, enough of that. Let's start focusing in on next week. You know, our fearless leader, Mr. Jones, says, you know what, we ain't resting people next week. We're going to go ahead and play and get some momentum going in there. You know, we're going to have our starter start. And they probably will start for a series or two, but I don't think they're going to play the whole game. We got fortunate that Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, neither of them gave up even a pressure in that game, that they ended up playing lights out. But both of those guys, you would like them to have some rest going into the playoffs because we need them at a full bore, especially if it looks like we're playing Seattle. You don't want to risk an injury to a Zeke Elliott. You know, Zeke Elliott, I still think you've seen him a little slow on the sidelines a couple times. You can't take that pounding week after week after week, and it's not going to slow you down. You want him to be fresh going in there. And that's not to say that we don't need to do more work as far as the connection between the receivers and the quarterback and stuff, because we could a little bit more. But you want to have everybody on deck when we have that first playoff game at home. Where's David Irving? I'm thinking they're going to put him on the most wanted list because I don't know where he is. He's not there. He's not working out. He's not rehabbing. We don't know what the heck is on it. So I would say he is out of sight and out of mind, and I would just kind of just forget about him being any boost. Yeah, they did bring Tavares Jackson up for this week after they put Jeff Swam on IR. We need to pay the refs. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Wentz equals, there you go, Steph. And that's another one of those things that it was crazy. The conversation we have here in Dallas about Dak Prescott is the same conversation they're having Wentz versus Nick Foles. Nick Foles basically going to say, I think this is the last game I'm going to be playing here because he wants to be a starter. And I can't say I blame him. But if you're an Eagle fan, you have to wonder, can Carson Wentz stay healthy? What about Sammy Coates? Okay. All right. I'm not even going to put... How you doing, Miss Jackie? Merry Christmas. Killing them all, Stephanie Bates, Tamara Parker, Kyle. Dak is greater than Wentz. Well, at least Dak has two good legs underneath him right now. Foles is greater than Wentz. And that's what a lot of people are like, don't let Foles go because they've got literally that whole fan base is now ripped apart because you've got Foles camp and you've got Wentz camp. And so that's going to be ugly if they let Foles go. They're going to really be on Carson Wentz. Billy Hayes, I can agree with you on that one because I'd like to have seen a veteran quarterback behind Dak to be able to kind of be another set of eyes. At least see Dak with a different set of coaching on there. When I look at Dak Prescott, when he comes off the field, whether it's a good drive or a bad drive, you see Dak come off, goes to the bench, and he sits there. You got Kellen Moore sitting beside him, and he's holding his notebook, and he's just looking down. And you don't see any interaction. You don't see Dak over here looking at the playbook or, getting any direction or anything. You don't see Dak with the headset on talking to Scott Linehan. Does that seem to be kind of funny to anybody else out there? To anybody else out there? Is it just me? Because when I see Pat Mahomes come off the sidelines, I see Andy Reid do a beeline right to that guy and start talking. When Jared Goff comes on the sidelines, I see McVay there praising him or telling him this, that, having conversations with him. I see Tom Brady sitting on the bench with the notepad going through and looking at the plays and what's going on and having conversations with coaches. Have I missed it? I know I'm talking and live streaming stuff, and then we got Rebecca going past there. Have I missed that during the games? Because I just don't see that kind of interaction. And the thing that makes you really say, well, does Dak have it or not have it is when it's the fourth quarter, we're in hurry-up offense, and Dak is running the offense. He sure seems a lot more comfortable than when they're calling plays in from the sidelines. It's like they don't believe it, just like Amari Cooper said. And I think that Scott Linehan has now put him in the doghouse for the moment. We keep running the same thing, the stop route. They're sitting on it. They're squatting on it. It's not going to work. Let's go deep. I'll do the go route. I can beat my man. The players know what you're doing is the same stupid stuff, and it doesn't make any sense that we continue to do it. We've done things that work well, and then we convert back to the crap that doesn't. Does anybody else seem to notice that, or is it just me? And that's where you have to look at Scott Linehan and say, what are we doing? Why aren't we working with the quarterback to try to make him better? Why aren't we working with his reads? Why aren't we working to make sure his mechanics are there? Why are we working on, if it's not there, get rid of it? He's got enough tools, but I can take one of you guys and put you in my workshop. I can build this a couple days. All this stuff, I can build it a couple days. I got the tools to do it. You may do a little woodworking, but if I put you in my shop, unless somebody shows you how to do it, somebody shows you how to use the machinery, somebody shows you how to use the tools, you can't do a masterpiece. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but you understand my point. And that's what we need. Dak's got tools. Everybody has different tools. Brandon Cunningham was fantastic with his legs. And until he went from Philadelphia and went to Minnesota with a coach that could coach him to really pass in the pocket, he had one of the best seasons in NFL history in Minnesota. In Philadelphia, where it was just run around and just do something. They honed his skills. We need somebody to hone Dak Prescott's skills. How about the penalties? The referees suck, and the NFL is vindictive. The NFL, I believe, is still pissed off at Jerry Jones for the lawsuit that he was trying to have and trying to get rid of the commissioner. We get no break. We get no quarter. We get crappy penalty. I swear, almost every single week we get a penalty called against us that's not getting called against anybody else. And I swear on Saturdays they go through the referees meeting and say, oh, here's one. That one hasn't been called. Let's call that one. That'll be a good one. Who is Swearinger? Swearinger is a cornerback for the Washington Redskins who's been throwing the whole team under the bus over and over and over again. So they finally said, you know what? He's throwing us under the bus enough. We got to let him go. He's a cancer. The Redskins have literally imploded. I'm trying to remember which the name of the linebacker, but one of their linebackers literally got into a Twitter war with some fans or trolls, whichever you want to call them, and literally said, F you and F the Redskins. So you want those guys here? You sure you guys want those guys to be here? I don't think I want them here. No, I'm good with our defense the way it is. Steffi, you are 100%. He's a locker room cancer. That's what I'm. Yeah. Again, tomorrow I'll have some more time. Christmas, the kids are all grown and stuff. I'm gonna actually rewatch the game because I love doing the live streams on the game, but it's hard to look. Redskin fan, we stink, Hey, shout out to the Redskin fan for showing up, man. Hey, I'm looking for a Redskin YouTuber, so if you see any Redskin fan that are YouTubers, tell them to hit me up, man, on cowboysmark94@gmail, because I'd actually like to have some Redskin user. Oh my God, Tamara, anytime somebody's released, immediately everybody says, oh, we need to get him. We need that guy. Skip Bayless, oh. Skip Bayless, don't get me started on him. Twain Eagles, Dallas is out first or second round. Well, at least they're in the playoffs this year. How about you guys? You guys were Super Bowl champions, and you guys look like some... Excuse me, I'm sorry. Got a little bit of a cold here. Well, here's the thing, too, guys. Miss Jackie, I'm looking at, we're locked in, and I'm so proud we're not the media driven. Well, you're not media driven. Amen on that. But here's the thing, though. I think the NFC is still wide open. It's going to be hard to win in New Orleans. We've done it before. But all of a sudden, all these teams with the high-flying offenses, the offenses have come down. When I was showing you Jared Goff's numbers, Jared Goff over the last 4 weeks has been awful. Drew Brees' numbers have come down from where they were, and the offenses aren't scoring as much as they were. You're seeing the Baltimore Ravens with their defense making a whole bunch of noise. You're seeing the Bears making a whole bunch of noise. Hey, guys, whatever you want to say about the offense or lack of production, we've won 6 out of the last 7 games. We've won 6 out of the last 7 games. Come on now. Have some hope. Have some faith in the team. Stop being Debbie Downers. Because it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a single one of those cockroaches, those Eagles, Giants, or Redskins, those louses, were stirring, because the Dallas Cowboys are in the playoffs, guys. Let's be happy. Let's be proud. Let's enjoy this week and next week, man. We went from 3-5 to 6-1. When they left us for dead, we got ourselves together. We gathered and we said, make no mistake, this thing ain't over. We are going to fight. We're going to kick some butt. We're going to punch them in the mouth. We're going to come out swinging. And we are going to never give up. And it's time for you guys as fans to get behind them and start to believe in them. Put it out into the universe what you want. And what I want is I want this team in the Super Bowl and winning it. I'm sick and tired of all of the, you know what, we competed. I'm ready for my team. Brian from SoCal with the Super Chat. Thank you very much. I'm tired of watching other teams year after year after year in the Super Bowl. I am so ready for my Dallas Cowboys to make all of these MFers eat some crow. It is time to get back on top. And with that being said, guys, Santa Claus is on his way. And I want to make sure that I don't miss him. Have a great Christmas, and of course, we'll be bringing you all of the news on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes. As always, thank you guys for watching, and have a Merry, Merry Christmas. You got it.
True. Have a great Christmas.
It was December 24th on Hollis Ave at the dark when I seen a man chilling with his dog